viewers. In my last video, I have said that India has surpassed Japan to become the fourth largest economy of the world. But I have said that I will upload a video yesterday, but I didn't because I am researching on this topic, and the reality is something else. It is not that India surpasses Japan to become the fourth largest economy of the world, but it is Japan which slips from the second largest economy to the now Japan is the fifth largest economy of the world. I will tell you the reasons why Japan is falling behind it, and look at the why India is not celebrating, or perhaps not as that level of celebration is going on, because India too know, the Indian ministers too have an idea that we didn't surpass Japan. It is Japan who fall asleep from the very 1990s recession bubbling. So we have to know that this is not our victory. This is the looseness, or this is the what I say losing of Japan, and and we have to look at the regions that we can do in really, so that we could surpass now the countries which is above us, like Germany, and then China, and then USA. So let's move on to in the announcement was made on 24th of May by the Niti Aayog CEO BBR Subramaniam, that he said, citing the data of IMF, International Monetary Fund, that we have surpassed Japan to become the fourth largest economy of the world. But it is not a fact. We didn't surpass Japan. Japan losing its value from the year by year. Till 2010, Japan was the second largest economy of the world, have a huge rivalry with US. But after that, there will be a senior age in the Japan happening, and there is also trauma of population crisis. So there are many sorts of reasons. One of the reasons are they don't have much youth labor force now, and they are not ready to take immigration from any foreign countries. They saw it against their will. They are ready for any temporary immigration worker, but not for permanent, or but not for a long period of time, that for any worker come from any other country and work in his own country. So this was some of the reasons why Japan falling, and the Prime Minister of Japan said it will fall more and more now. In the last quarter of Japan, the GDP of Japan was succumbed for 0.3%. Now, if you look at the what is the proportion of top economies, so the US tops on with nearly 30 trillion economy of the world, and second is of course China with nearly 19 trillion economy, and third is Germany with 4.5, nearly 4.5, 4.8 perhaps 4.8 trillion, and fourth is now India with $4.187 trillion economy, and fifth is on Japan with just a slight below India, $4.186 trillion. So it is not a much of celebration in my opinion, and we have shown progress in the last few years. If I would say in last decades, there is a sizzling 7% of growth in our country. But we do not have to forget that where we are now. In the main reason behind the growth of India is their youth workforce and their IT hub, and one of the main reasons is and also it is cited that one of the main reasons is pharmaceuticals. And after Trump's tariff threats, India is looking for the new partner like European Union, UAE, Australia, and they are signing not any like 10% of tariffs or any other tariffs. They are India signing a free trade agreement. So it is good for India on the future, and I'm happy that I was happy if India surpasses Japan and become third largest economy. And now as Apple said that it is going to build nearly 90% of the iPhone in India. So that would be that would be boost our economy as well, and we will uh, compete with China, because China has become the 19 trillion economy, nearly 19 trillion economy. One of the reason is that most of the companies get their land access and all the sorts of work that need for any company to establish its firms in that country. It was so easy, and also China provides him the world's cheapest labor, so Apple go there. But now, as Trump's had a slump, Trump had a slap, 245% of tariff on China. So now Tim Cook is trying to diversify their the products of Apple, and uh, as of India now, the population of India is now on the top, and we have the biggest youth workforce in our country. So Apple is looking for a new home for the Apple manufacturer, but because Tim Cook knows that he will never produce and make profit that he makes now, and will make like he manufactures Apple iPhone in China, and in India will make in India, but he will never earn such a profit if he manufactures it in the USA. Trump's threatens the CEO of Tim Cook that you have to build iPhone in USA. I think this is my personal opinion, that I have seen Joe Biden, but I didn't see. I didn't see it, means I didn't follow the news of Barack Obama at that time, George Bush, or Bill Clinton, or all those presidents of USA. But I think the Donald Trump is the stupid, illiterate, and most weak man. He claimed himself as a strong man in the world, but he's one of the weakest president of the world. And why I said illiterate, because he didn't have any idea of economics. I didn't check out, but I'm sure that he didn't have studied economics. But he do interested that when he will put tariffs on countries on the world, then the trade deficit with China, with India, will come down, and every company to come to India, or the tariffs that India imposes on US bikes and all other products. The world economics is not as easy as Donald Trump said, that he will put a tariff on the countries, and that the companies of that country will come into the USA, or the countries will reduce their tariffs too. It is not as much as simple as Donald Trump did. And he didn't have any idea how economics works. When the CEO of BlackRock was asked by a media reporter that, do you think we are going in a recession? Larry Fink said, we are in a recession now. So I think USA can have, as Donald Trump said, make America great again. He can, and he will make America great again. But with his stupid tariff, he will come all the world into the phase of recession. He too have to be, I think, in my opinion, is have a meeting with economist of the USA and his trade advisory, that how can we fill this gap of long, with China. USA has $300 billion trade deficit. With India, it is $44 billion of trade deficit. So it can be filled with different methods. But as I said, that Donald Trump is a illiterate, self-centered man who try to show their power. But in truth, it is said that you don't need to show your power. If you have power really inside yourself, then the time will set to you. That time will come, then the world will see your power. And I think Donald Trump constantly criticized Joe Biden government. I think Joe Biden was far better than Donald Trump. He is aged, but he didn't make such a silly decisions that put entire world into a risk of recession. So regardless all of this, now talking about India and Japan, and it is a cheerful news is going on that India has beats Japan, but it is not a fact as I said earlier. Now look at the how a single person of Japanese is earning 12 times more than the average Indian man. Now you will say that there will be a population difference. The population of Japan is 123 million, and our two states like Bihar and UP has more population than Japan. The population of India is 1.43 billion, but now we have to look at that. We have become a 4 trillion economy, but we don't look at the GDPs alone. Still, we give the food to 80 crore people of our country. So how could we celebrate? How can we celebrate our victory? Our victory is only when we progress the per capita income of our country. When we don't need to give any public distribution, any single grain to any person. When we have the when we will stop the public distribution system, at that time we really become the a great economy of the world. Before that, it is not possible, because in a country where 80 crore people will give government subsidies, foods, pulses, and many other sort of things, and in that country you claim yourself as that we are become fourth largest economy, that's not worth it in my opinion. Now look at the quality of life. In Japan there is a universal health care, and there is a life expectancy of Japan is nearly 84 years. But what if you look at India? There is a limited access of toilets and bathroom, and still in some rural areas, if I have to tell you that taking Bihar as the source, thousands of houses I can find, and I can tell you that there is no any bathroom in that house. So we have a massive population, but we do not have a legal based in which we can encircle them, in which we can provide them at least not a good, a simple healthcare system. We didn't have yet. And another thing that Japan is very away, very far from us, very superior from us, is education. In Japan, nearly 100% literacy. In India, what it is 76 or 73% perhaps. And I'm happy to know that that Mizoram became the first state of our country with 100% literacy, and that's a good news for it, all of us. But we have another state from where I belong is Bihar, where the only 52% of people are only 10th pass, and nearly 7% or 4% of people, as I said in one of my previous videos, that are graduates. So in the field of education, we too are lagging behind so much from Japan or any of the countries. We do not have any world-class universities for which we claim ourselves that we became a 4 trillion economy. And also the last I would like to tell, Japan spends 3% of their GDP on R&D, means research and developments, on innovation, on AI. But what we do? We do less than 1% of our GDP. In this 2025 budget, our respected finance minister, Mr. Nirmala Sitharaman, increases the budget of AI innovation, because when they look at the China, that they made DeepSeek, and the DeepSeek has plunged the 75% share of NVIDIA and all of the main companies, AI firms of USA. Then India too have a immense energy came into Indian Indian tech giants, that they will too made a AI chatbot of himself. And the information and broadcast minister said that by October, November we will made our chatbot. And that's all about news. Thank you very much for watching this video till yet now. And if you have watched this video till yet now, I'm sure that you are out of those who doom scrolling for 30 seconds videos, 1 minute videos, and you are away from that. And if you constantly watch this video, then you certainly are away from that. Thank you very much.